Thank you, Adi. It's a pleasure being here. And we're going to talk about how to leverage P2P network to support your solution building journey, or in plain words, how to become successful working with others. And my name is Per Werngren. I am a past worldwide president of the International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners. This is an association that welcomes members worldwide. We have chapters, local communities in 44 countries, and our members do business with each other to a value of $10 billion every year. Great value being part of the IAMCP. So I'm going to talk about something called the Ptp Maturity Model, and that is best practice that has been captured by me and Christine Dover and IAMCP friends during the years. It is about how to create a structured approach for how to do business together. And as everything, you want a stamp of approval. So IDC has approved this model, and they have also written a few white papers about it. And it is also hugely popular inside Microsoft. So let's talk about the model. But before, why do partnerships? Well, there are a lot of reasons, and there might be other reasons than the reasons I have on this slide. But one is, if I need new technology capabilities, instead of hiring people myself, taking a risk, I can partner with someone that knows this new technology. And also, if I want to go vertical, if there is like, if I see a demand in a vertical where I don't have much knowledge, then I can partner with someone that is an expert in that field, like banking, manufacturing, healthcare. And then I piggyback on that company's reputation, and together we will lower the risk and will probably also increase profitability. And a lot of companies dream about expanding geographically, dreaming about entering new geographical markets. And with P2P, with partnerships, I can make it happen with a lower risk. I can make it much faster. And if it doesn't work out, then I can easily wind it down and bet for a new market. And brand recognition is a little bit, if I want to go vertical, piggybacking on someone that is well known in a certain sector, geography, or vertical, or technology space. But there are probably more reasons, and the reasons might be totally different than the ones that I have here on my slide. But sometimes partnerships fail. And I see that partnerships fail when there is lack of leadership support. When there is only people lower in the organization that embrace a certain partnership, and the people in the top are perhaps not aware or don't endorse, then it is something that is destined to fail eventually. And sometimes partnerships are just for convenience. It is just one ad hoc deal, and it is not a long-term strategic decision. Greed, see it unfortunately over and over when someone sees that if they cut out the partner and they go direct to the customer, they might increase their margins. But short-sightedness will not work at all. And building partnerships takes time. So sometimes people are not interested in investing the time, both the man hours and also the time in months before a partnership takes off. And having no structure, no plan, well, that is like going out on a journey with absolutely no map, well, you can't measure success and you will probably not end up in a great place. And greed and attempts to steal a customer is kind of the same. Cutting out the middleman, cutting out the partner is really something that unfortunately happens too much. And when two companies do business together and the customer is less happy, blaming each other instead of together working out the problems is something that will turn the customer off and will probably demotivate everyone in the partnership to do more deals together. So that's the negative. I represent Microsoft Partner Ecosystem. Microsoft Ecosystem for partners is a coat of many colors. There are too many partner types, and the best partnerships are often when companies that have totally different ideas of specialization doing business together. So here's just an example, and you don't need to read it all, but it is showing that there are many partner types, and the best partnerships are when a company specializing in something partner with another company specializing in something different. And another key takeaway is that specialization, instead of trying to be jack of all trades, is often successful. It is successful for reputation, it's successful for profitability, and it is super successful when you want to sell your company eventually. Specialized companies are valued so much more than companies trying to do a little bit of everything. Super. So this P2p Maturity Model, which is for free, by the way, you can download it, you can use it, and hopefully you will get great success. This P2p Maturity Model has 4 steps of maturity. Basic, well, as you can hear, then you're not doing much. Reactive, you react to opportunities and you have a little bit of planning, but not much. Proactive, then you're searching for opportunities, you have a structure for how to handle opportunities. And dynamic, that is when you are best in class. Then you are super successful doing partnering and you will get a larger slice of the revenue of $10 billion that we in the IAMCP community drive together. We then slice it on 10 business functions, and I will go through these 10 business functions. It is important to understand that all business functions are almost equally important. You cannot bet on 1 or 2. You need to have the whole picture in order to be successful. And as I said, partnering takes time, but it's also super rewarding. So here is the P2p Maturity Model framework. You can see horizontally that you have 4 maturity stages, and vertically you have the 10 business functions. So if we start with the first one, joint business planning, that is when you and your fellow partners sit down together and plan the business. If you are proactive, then you are activity-based, like we should be in this webinar together, we should be in this trade show, we should do this email blast campaign, etc. Take it activity by activity. When you are dynamic, then you have an annual plan and you follow up regularly, like every quarter, you sit down together with your fellow partners and you discuss where are we with the annual plan? Do we need to make any changes? Should we hit the brakes or should we push the button and do more together? Leads and pipeline. The best partnerships, and probably the only partnerships that will work long time, is the ones that are based on trust. And then you share your leads and you share your pipeline. With proactive, you share specific campaigns. Perhaps not all campaigns are part of this partnership. You have a structure for how to share them. And perhaps you don't measure everything, but you have a desire to do more. And a specific campaign that is successful will follow with another campaign. So the appetite is growing. With dynamic, you had a shared process to generate leads. And that is also cost saving, because if you do things together, it will cost less. You also have a rhythm for how you review the pipeline together, and you meet in person. Of course, if you are in totally different places in the world, you don't meet in person that often. Agreement. It is important to discuss the partnership and to document the partnership on paper. With proactive, you have a letter of intent where you have tried to iron out all things that are about this partnership, like margins, who owns the customer, who owns the problems, how are you resolving things together. And with dynamic, you have a formal contract that defines all aspects of the relationship. So proactive, you have a letter of intent where you have discussed everything and you have documented the discussion. And dynamic, then it's a formal contract. So this is probably something I would say where you start with a letter of intent, and as your partnership grows, you do the next step where you document it in a formal contract. This is important. I've also seen so many partnerships that is just a formal contract that takes ages to discuss and negotiate, a lot of legal cost, and it ends up in a drawer and nobody does any business related to the formal contract. So start small, start with a letter of intent, and then as you see the value of the partnership, you document it in another way in a formal contract. Sales compensation. With proactive, you have made a stand where you see that deals that are produced by your partners will be equally rewarded as deals that are produced in-house. So you have an alignment of referral and project-based compensation. This is important. With dynamic, you have a rationalized campaign-based compensation. And that means that you have a formal structure for your campaigns, how you reward your people. But it is important that you treat deals produced by partners equal as deals that are produced in-house. Otherwise, your salespeople will not try very hard to sell deals that are produced by partners. And that goes both ways. Market messaging. It is important, I believe, to really tell the market that you are doing business together with this company or these companies. So with proactive, you have ad hoc messaging, recognition of partners and capabilities. You will write on your website who your partners are, and you are not afraid to talk to your customers about the opportunities with your partners. With dynamic, well, you have fully integrated marketing, and that is another way to save cost. You do marketing together. You will become stronger. Customers will appreciate the transparency. They will appreciate that 2 or 3 specialized companies are doing business together, and they can better serve a certain segment of customers. That is the way to do it. Save cost and get so much more bang for the bucks. Geography in proactive, you will use partnerships to gain access to markets in other geographies. Instead of opening up subsidiaries, instead of sending out your own people that perhaps do not understand the local culture, you do it through partnerships. When we are talking dynamic, then you are more strategically using partnering. You see where you have white spaces on the globe, and you use partnerships to cover these white spaces. You have more a structured approach for which countries that you want to enter, and it is less opportunity-based, where I would say proactive is. Proactive is a little bit where you see opportunities where people reach out to you, or where you accidentally bump into people on trade shows and you discuss, hey, should we do partnering? Can I get access to your local market through this partnership? Resource utilization. Well, this is also something that really goes both ways. With proactive, you have predefined rates for shared resources. You are also willing to give a little bit of free time from architects for sales activities, pre-sale, as we often call it. And these predefined rates should be the same both ways. So you can't say that my developers are so much more valuable than your developers. My developers will cost $100, but I'm only willing to pay $50 per hour for your developers. It needs to be mutual, it needs to be fair, and you need to treat both sides with the same respect. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, but when you do it, it will work, and then both partners will try to sell each other resources, and that's good, because what costs in a consultancy business is when you have people on the bench. And with dynamic, you have integrated resource planning covering multiple competencies. And that is another way to say that you don't need to have all specialized people yourself. Instead, if you have specialists that are available through your partners, that is a great way to save cost. It will also save cost when it comes to reskilling people. So use partnerships in an integrated way for resource utilization. Readiness and certification in the Microsoft ecosystem and in other ecosystems, it is important that you have a piece of paper so that you can show that you have a certain certification. In proactive, you do joint partner training in overlapping areas, joint planning to reduce overlaps. You do it together and you map where you have your weaknesses, and together you make a plan for how to train your people so that you cover your weaknesses. With dynamic, you have a formal plan to earn certifications. You use strength and combine advanced certifications to win customers. This is a little bit perhaps extra when you're striving for the highest levels of certifications from a vendor like Microsoft or someone else. Product and customer support. This is important. Your customers that you are serving together should have one phone number, one email address, instead of them having to navigate who is the one in this partnership that should give support in a certain area. Create a single point of contact for support and have meetings together to review, are there issues that come over and over again that you can resolve together in your joint solution so that customers will be happier. A single point of contact. When you are dynamic, then you have a shared CRM system where you log all tickets, which will make it so much easier to make proactive efforts to resolve things permanently. And the last one, customer relationships and satisfaction. Well, instead of having meetings one-on-one with your customers, you and your partners can do it together. When you are proactive, you have a great way of together measuring customer satisfaction, meeting your customers, and you also share references so that references are created in a way so that both partners in this partnership can use it. And in Dynamic, you have more of a shared responsibility and action for customer service regardless of fault. You probably have an SLA for how to deal with issues. You have an internal SLA, perhaps you don't tell the customer about it, and you have a process and you have shared systems, and you regularly follow up how is your customer satisfaction in this partnership. So, doesn't look complicated, or perhaps it does. This is a journey. The thing is that you should start small, measure where you are. Together with your leadership team, you can go through and assess where you are today. And if you do this every quarter, you will probably see that perhaps you started with basic, perhaps a little bit reactive. And quarter by quarter, you will see that you are moving the dial. You will increase maturity. And the good thing is that when you are increasing maturity, you are also increasing profitability and enterprise value. This is a journey that will never end. You will never reach the finish line. There are always things that you can do better. There are always things that you can learn. So it is a journey, and every bend on the road is rewarding. And this is a proven methodology. So many partners around the world are using it, not only in the Microsoft ecosystem, but also in other ecosystems, even if it is mostly Microsoft partners. So it really works. And with that, let's open up for some Q&A. Let's see if we have some questions in the chat. And no questions in the chat. Someone that wants to ask a question live?
Yeah, thank you, Per. I think it was very nicely articulated, those 10 points. I can completely agree with you that, yeah. Do you want to share some some of the super success stories of something that hit your mind, any of case studies, or if you have something that you could share on an open domain, because that will help us. I think the core part is looking for win-win. So yeah, that theoretically it looks perfect, but just want to know any of your super success stories, so that.
Yeah. So one success story is my old company that I sold a few years ago, IDNet. It was a Scandinavian-based MSP, managed solution provider, and we also did a little bit of hosting because 5 years ago that was kind of popular. We served customers all over the globe, and by serving customers all over the globe, you had a demand for giving support 24/7. So we partnered with a company in Florida. We took care of their customers when they were sleeping, and they took care of our customers when we were sleeping. So that was a great way to make it work. We reduced our cost big time, and it also gave us representation in the United States, which was important for us as a European company. So that is a great success story. And we also had several other minor partners that we used for technology, people and companies that had a knowledge in areas where we didn't have any desire to invest. So
Okay.
that was a great way. So my company had the highest margin in Scandinavia in the MSP space, over and over, year after year. Another example is a company called BitTitan in the US. They also have representation in India. I think that they have most of their people in India. They use partnering as a way to grow, and they have been investing in partnerships for at least 7 years. It has been super successful for them.
Okay.
So there are great stories to tell. Often it is about getting access to a certain customer segment, getting access to a certain geography, or getting access to people that knows a certain technology. But the best partnerships are the ones that goes both ways. So everyone wants revenue. So if you partner with someone and they sell your solutions, if you can also sell their solutions, then it will be so much more valuable for both parties. So
Got
it
it.
always needs to be like two-way partnering.
Yeah.
Was that?
The first example you mentioned with IdeaNet was basically you are using your efforts for covering the other geography, which is time displaced. The
Yeah,
competency wise, it is there, the same, but the support system
yeah,
for the other time based.
yes, yes. And something else was that there are a lot of ISVs out there that have solutions, but they don't have expertise in operations. So helping ISVs by taking care of their line of business applications, they will probably be on Azure, perhaps they are on AWS, but managing their applications, that is also something where I've seen personally so many great partnerships.
Okay.
And then we have a question from Adi. He's wondering if IAMCP help identify other partners that are looking open for partnerships locally. Great question, Adi. In the IAMCP, we have 80 chapters in 44 countries. And these chapters, they meet locally. They used to meet in person, but now they are meeting over Teams, of course. And that is a great way to find both new partners that can help you serve your existing and new customers, but also new partners that can help you reach new customers. So engaging in the local chapter meetings makes sense. And if you're interested in doing business in another geography, try to be part of that local chapter's local meetings. And they always appreciate someone being part of the meeting that comes from another country. Great. Any more questions?
Hello there. Hi, it's Anishri from Bosch, India.
Hello.
So I just wanted to, get some more details around what you mentioned as the integrated marketing. Was just wondering because as Bosch or any other company, they have their own brand and there is a certain set of expertise or domain that people associate with them. So when we try to partner up, so there is sometimes a gap in terms of the messaging, like because a certain company may not be known for that domain or expertise, but you try to partner up with somebody who's local in that area, and in that case, how would the messaging work? Like, do you have some examples on between system
Yes.
integrators, ISVs? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are looking for customers in a certain segment, and then you will probably partner with someone that either really knows that segment and has a great reputation, then you can co-brand your activities together with that company. if it is a company that is not well known, but they just they have great technology knowledge, then perhaps that company is less relevant to use in joint marketing activities. So, like, if I'm just throwing it out, if you're Bosch, you do solutions for the automotive industry, then perhaps partner with someone that a car manufacturer that has a great reputation. And I know that
that is exactly to my point. Actually, my team and all works on immersive technologies actually, and Bosch is not known for that, and many people don't know that. So when we are trying to take such solution to the market, we are not known for that, and then so how would you advise in that sense?
So then piggyback on someone that is known in that segment will probably make great success. And because you are Bosch, everyone wants to partner with you because you add credibility. Even if you are not known in a certain space, you are known worldwide. So that can probably be a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Okay. If you have something else, just send me an email, per@awakish.com. And you can also visit partnermaturitymodel.com, where you can see all information. We have a few videos there. And please drop me an email if you see that this is successful. Please drop me an email if you see that this is not successful, and just let me know. And IAMCP.org, a fabulous association for people and companies that have a desire for doing more partnering. It is affordable to become a member, and when you are a member, you will get a slice of the $10 billion in revenue that we drive year after year. Wonderful. With that, I think we are closing. And perhaps, Adi, you want to say a few words about the Build for 2030?
Thank you very much, everybody, for attending the event today. Just a reminder, here are some links here that we have for anybody that wants to continue to participate in the Build for 2030 initiative. And a reminder that our final entry deadline has been extended 1 week to Monday, November 22nd. So please remember to register your teams in the entry tool and get ready for the final submissions. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending tonight or this afternoon or this morning, whenever it may be for you. And we look forward to seeing your entries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's pretty useful. Thank you very much.